Alright, welcome guys, for all the traders from all over around the world, especially Filipinos working abroad, wherever you are, and to all my kababayans in the Philippines. So this is your mentor Neil. I'm having again my FB Live for this weekend. And this today guys, we are going to focus about the state of the markets. So we will cover the Philippine market, the US market, and some about the currencies, the forex market. All right, so let's start with the Philippine market, and we will analyze the Philippine market status in the basis of smart money concepts. All right, so if you're interested, then tune in. So a moment, I'll just set my timer here because I'm just planning to do like a 20 minutes FB live here. Alright, so like what I said, I will be explaining the state of the markets using smart money concepts. So this is the technique or trading strategy that I use in analyzing the technical charts of any kind of market. And in this method, I don't use any kind of indicators, only price chart and maybe a little bit of volume. And aside from that is that smart money concepts are known to be the kind of trading techniques that the big hedge funds, banks, and big money makers or institutions in the financial market are using to make money from this industry. Alright, so let's check on PSEI, and usually I check first the higher time frame and check the trend. So here, as you can see, the PSEI in a longer term time frame, it has been doing some really downtrend. So we can so markets are actually fractal in nature. So from here to here, you'll see that it's a big downtrend. So I'll indicate the fractals or partitions of my charts using these vertical lines so that it's easier for us to dissect. But from here to here, it looks like we are uptrending, right? And then suddenly we started to reach these equal highs. So in a smart money concept, so when we see equal highs, therefore liquidity are sitting in there. So if it means that in the Philippine market, although there are not no shorting opportunities, or maybe some of the big brokers can have the opportunity to short the market. So let's just say that it's possible to short the market for everyone. So wait a moment, I'll just try to check some figures that I need for my drawings. So it looks like this chart doesn't have too many objects. Here, sorry, it's here. So there is a liquidity sitting on top of that, so meaning that there are stop losses for those who are shorting the market. So it's sitting right above this equal highs. So here it's a downtrend in the higher time frame, and from here to here we started uptrending, and then we establish here liquidity, and that liquidity is actually corresponding to the order block which is sitting here. So the order block indicates here that this is a very important area of supply zone, so where the sellers are. So why is it so? Okay, let me just create some kind of coloring here. Alright, so there's an order block here. This is basically the last where there is the last up move over here before the breakup structure to the downside. So this is the structure that I'm talking about. Breakup structure. Right, so breakup structure, and you also can consider this as breakup structure, but these are already historical breakup structures. We went to the downside, then started the uptrend, and we also do some breakup structure to the upside, but here we don't break, so we have equal highs instead. The equal highs, there are many sellers over here. There are also stop losses which are set above the equal highs. So tendency here is usually to stop out all the traders who have set their stop losses on these above just a little bit above the equal highs. So what's happening now at the moment if we dissect this uptrend here? So let's go over that. So breakup structure, pull back, and then it's pulling back right around this where the order block is sitting, although it did not really touch. So this order block remains an unmitigated order block, so I colorize with yellow lines, so meaning that later on it can be a target of those shorters from here to here, and this can be also another can be a zone for buying. So if ever the price drops and continue, so this level is a very important level to watch. Also, so since this market has been uptrending from here to here, so we can say that there are stop losses sitting under this demand zones, and these stop losses are actually creating liquidity under it. So the tendency of the price then is that to liquidate all who have a stop losses above the equal high, then order flow will be like this, trying to take out all who have a stop losses here, then down here and up to here until we establish or we reach that point, a so-called demand zone, where the buyers can get into this market. So also we cannot disregard this as well, because this is a valid unmitigated order block, and beside that is where there is an equal low as well, so which I will colorize with blue, so to indicate that there is an equal low here, and to indicate here that we have an equal high, so I mark it with red. So in a longer term time frame, which is I'm using now weekly, it is a downtrend market, but here it's basically a pull-in. So this is a breakup structure to the downside. We have here the retracement towards the order block, and then since it's already on the order block and it's also hitting the equal highs, we will first liquidate those who have a stop losses under the equal highs before dropping. So how much drop can we expect? We do not know, but we will always focus on liquidity engineering. So where the liquidities are. So where are those? So here there are long positions where the stop losses are set here, here, and here, and also here. So, and beside that are unmitigated order blocks with market inefficiencies, or in short, imbalances. So these are the terminologies that you will learn in smart money concepts. Okay, so let me change the color of this to yellow to indicate that it's an imbalance. Alright, so that's a possibility. Of course, that is just a projection, but it doesn't really mean that the price will go straight right away to those liquidities. Of course, market can also stay sideways, retest again this high, and we wait for confirmation that we have here rejection still on this very important area before we drop here to take out all the stop losses here and up to here. So the question now is, can it still go lower? Well, it is. Everything is possible. So as long as the sellers are willing enough to sell, everything is possible. It can still drop up to here, but at the moment we cannot say much about it because it's still very far. So yes, so this is what I can see, that we have here an ascending actually, or what's this triangle, ascending triangle, and we basically, so if you draw, this is the the retailer's mindset, that we have a retailer trader mindset, that if we have a ascending triangle, we see that one price is consolidating up and down inside the triangle. We have that in our mind that it will break out and continue, but hedge funds and big banks knows already this kind of stuff. So what they're going to do after a breakout, they're going to fade the market from here and to continue. And beside that, fundamentally, we are still really experiencing a lot of issues in the market. So the risk of COVID-19 and further lockdowns can still happen while we have still the pandemic. Even those who are vaccinated are still going back to the hospitals. So there is still a risk on that side. Plus, there is also risk of inflation coming in, because and many other things fundamentally. So we are still on the downside pressure, and additionally, there is the potential risk or conflict with Russia and Ukraine, which I hope that it won't really become serious, that it might lead to even a bigger war. So we really pray and hope that let's continue to pray that it's not going to be escalated. Alright, so now that we know our zones, basically, okay, we'll try to eliminate some of my drawings so it cannot become too messy. We just delete one by one. Alright. Okay, so let's go back to the daily chart. As you can see here, the price is really reacting on this demand zone, or the equal high. So after the equal high we rejected, we have this inverse pin bars and engulfer, and then pull in, and then engulf again. So there is really still a downside pressure. Maybe we are going to go back to this trend line, liquidate all those who have or trying to position to buy on the trend line, and which also can lead to these levels here. Alright, so that's the daily. So that's my projection for the Philippine stock market. I am not yet bullish on this until we really clear this area here. So, but right now we are not really clearing on that. Although still, you might ask me that is there a chance that it will break out? So well, we have that chance still, because we basically have a break structure, but of course it's getting rejected. So we might pull back up to here, and let's observe what's going to happen here, whether if we are still so this is the key level for the buyers. on the daily basis, on the daily chart, this is a really important level, because if you so how do we figure out whether we are changing in trends? So if we are in an uptrend, we do this one. We establish higher high and higher lows. And how do we know that we are starting to change in a trend? It's when we break this higher low, and then we start to create a lower high, and then we create a lower high here. So this is now a change in trend. So from uptrend we go to downtrend. So this one, if we break this structure to the downside, then we have now so-called a change in character, COC. So let's check what's happening now. So what's happening now is still an uptrend at the daily chart. We don't have that. Okay, so here, by the way, so we have here a breakup structure to the downside. This is a change in character, and then we pulled back and created these equal highs, liquidated all who are shorting at the equal highs, and then we start to sell off again. So we might come back up to this level at 7k, and we'll see. Another possibility is to go to this trend line. So yes, so here if you see, we analyze this one. So here is where the buyers came in before they break this structure here. And go back, we did not test yet that level. So that's why this area here is very possible, and it's in confluence with the trend line. Alright, so these are the key levels. So it's very, very important to know what are your key levels, so that you know when you are going to observe for any kind of reaction. So we don't know what really the market will do. All we do is really observing how the price behaves on those key levels. Right? So now that's the Philippine market, and I have seen opportunities. So this week I have analyzed a couple of stocks in the Philippine market for my weekly update. So this weekly update is an update where I'm sending out to my weekly update subscribers, wherein every weekend I'm sending out an email what are the good stocks to buy for the upcoming week. So one tip that I can give today is yes, so PX. As you can see, a lot of trades came in the last trading day, and then we have this really nice breakup structure. So if we see the higher time frame, analyzing it also with the smart money concept, we have here a downtrend, downtrend, and then so we see here a breakup structure to the downside. This is also a breakup structure to the downside, but suddenly we break this structure to the upside. We also break this structure to the upside, and then we pull back and bounce on this level over here where the demand zone is. And then another thing is that it went to break a structure to the upside, pull back, and came back to the order block, which is here left behind before the break of the structure. So this one at the weekly time frame, it's really looking bullish. So now we also again break another structure and keep on breaking structure at the weekly. So let's go to the daily chart, and what is then our point of interest that we need to watch. So now I will try to measure this. I hope I have a template. No, I don't have any templates here. Let me just delete this. this. I don't need all of this stuff. So I only need the 0, 1, and the 50%. So this is our point of interest, the half of the this box. So basically the half of this swing. From here to here, the range, daily range, and we have here the 50%. So we wait for price to pull back on this level. So when it is there, you can find an order block, which is here, unmitigated order block. So that is really a good zone for hunting for buying PX. Right, so if you would like to get more updates from the Philippine stock market from me, and you'll receive it via my email, then you just simply write me a message, okay? Or via writing me here in my Facebook page, Facebook chat, or simply email me at tradeopschannel@gmail.com. So you can email me on this. Alright, and okay, now let's go to the US stock market. Right, so I'm just checking now that whether we have any kind of questions in our chat. None so far, so let's continue. Alright, so let's analyze the oil was really moving very huge since the beginning of the year, as you can see from January up to now. We started at 75, and now we even reached 100. That's a 25% move within 1.5 months. So but let's check the index of let's just check the US 30, which I usually trade in the US, among the US indices. Let's analyze US 30, what's happening. So this is daily. Okay, US 30, we have still we are downtrend at the daily, but let's check first the weekly chart. That's obviously an uptrend weekly. We have here a breakup structure. Breakup structure, and then we have here equal highs. So again, what I said earlier, that equal highs can lead to liquidation of all those who are positioning for shorting the market. So let's check it for hours. So equal highs, so like this one, so equal highs, so it can be a good target for the big institutions or hedge funds. Equal highs. So alright, so let's now check the again. Let's go back to daily for a little bit, because I can see here that we have broken. So not really. So the price is hesitating to close below this low, weekly low. So we are the price is hesitating. It's trying to liquidate all the stop losses here. Those people who have stop losses here, liquidated. Those people who have, so this one is unmitigated one. But as you can see, what's happening is that, so firstly, the fact we did not break structure yet, although the price is wicking out, but we never close below any kind of pivot points. Therefore, we don't have any breakup structure to the downside. So that is a good thing. In fact, last week we have a bullish pin bar. This one. So that's a good indication actually for the upside. Why? Because let me just use my pointer. Aha. So highlighter. Going to use a highlighter. Yes. So let's try to rewind the price. So like that, like this. So you see, we tried to liquidate the positions here which are long. We tried to liquidate, not yet this one, but later on that will be as well going to be liquidated on a weekly basis. There you go. No, not yet. So one more maybe. Oh, that's it. Okay, so we liquidated this and this, but not this. So what we wanna see is that we break above this. Price should go higher than this. Maybe a daily close would be enough. Daily close above this, we will go for a bullish bias. Why? Because we have just liquidated. So basically this is a so-called distribution. So the smart money tried to stop you out for those people who are long. Stop out, stop out. However, if we go lower than this weekly low, we will be liquidating this. And depending on how the weekly candle will close the next week, then we can decide which bias should we take, because you'll see that this is a key level, right? So this is a key level on a weekly basis, this one. Why? Because this is the last pivot point for the bullish uptrending or a bullish move. So let me explain. Alright, so we have here higher high and higher lows, and this is that last pivot point, and we don't like that price will close below that, because if the price will close below that, just like this, we can say that there is now a change in character. But right now we don't have yet a change in character, so we are still remaining bullish on this market at the weekly time frame. So next week we should see how the candle will close. Should it close below this, or should it close above here or above here? If it will close lower than this, then we will continue. We will expect that we might be still wicking out all those other stop losses to the downside. But if the close will happen, if the candle closes here below this 33941, then we can say that now we have a breakup structure. And also it also depends what kind of candle will be created for the weekly next week. Okay, so let's just put this one as a very important level, weekly level, key weekly level. So again, we should not, the weekly candle should not close below that level if we wanna stay bullish. However, if we close above this, then we will now go for a bullish, still remain bullish, because we can say that these guys were just, stopped out for the smart money traders to come in to create the buy orders. Alright, so that's it. So yeah, so as you can see also, we have here this. So in the retail traders mindset is to go bullish whenever the price is hitting the trend line. So you buy here, buy, but now smart money traders knows, they are aware that there are stop losses sitting on this under the trend line. This is the manipulation that they're creating to stop those traders out. And then retail also thinks that if we break below, retail mindset thinks in this way, that if we break below the trend line, then we will now go short. And actually this is not really a good basis to go short when you just break below the trend line, because it can be just manipulation to stop out all those traders, and then once you go short, you will still get you will be still stopped out because price goes back to the range, and then boom, still continue the downward move. Alright, so as you can see in the last trading day, we have a pin bar, bullish pin bar. It's an indication that now we are still strong. The buyers are strong here. That pin bar can range up to can go back into this supply zone, or it may come here or here, these levels, or retest the high, equal high. Okay, so that is the possibilities now. Okay, another possibility is that this will retest this pin bar, half of the pin bar, before bouncing back to here, to here, to here, before moving back. So that's what I can say for now, until we while we cannot break this structure above 36 or let's say 37k, we will still we will how to say that. So okay, let me check the weekly first. Okay, so it will, yeah, until we don't break the 37k, the price can still head back to move to retest again the low here, this pin bar here, this area, which I can actually create 50%. Where are you? Blue area. Yep. So take the 50%. So this is our key or discount level. Alright, so that's my projection for the US 30, or basically the US market. So now we are bouncing from this area after liquidating those long positions, long stop losses, and then we can come back here before down. So you need to observe how the price will react on these areas, because these are actually areas for selling, or they are the supply zones. Alright, so that's it about my US 30 analysis, the US market. What about if we check some of the forex market? So most popular is Euro USD. Most popular according to the MyFX book. It's a liquid, highly liquid forex currency pair. Okay, so again, I check the higher time frame, and let's see what's happening. Let's check first the monthly. Okay, so we have here a breakup structure to the downside. We have here equal lows. Lows, I will colorize with blue. After the equal lows, we break structure to the upside, and break up structure to the upside, but there might be some order block here, order block, supply zone, and then we were rejected on that order block, so this order block will be a supply zone. We'll colorize with yellow, and also we have here our demand zone, and yeah, so let's check this one. We have a order block, breakup structure, and we have here unmitigated order block. And I'll take 50% of that. Okay, so at the monthly chart, Euro USD is basically downtrending here, so obvious. So from here it's really downtrend, and then we move sideways a little bit. But here, if we check from here, we are downtrend, right? So you can see it clearly from a weekly chart that we are heading downtrend after hitting that order block here. Price get rejected and continued a big move to the downside. Okay, so now where is the price heading? It's heading to this order block. So this is an important zone for the buyers. Right now we are still continuing to break up structure to do so this is actually a weekly chart. So we continue to break up structure here, break up structure, and break up structure, and I'm expecting continuation to the downside to retest this weekly order block and look for wick off or a reversal pattern over here. But the higher time frame is bearish, so meaning that if the price fails here to create that reversal, not enough buyers coming in, then we might continue to come here to this demand zone, sorry. So yeah, so that's it, and that is very high probability because we are still downtrending. Alright, so let's check the daily for this Euro USD. Again, this is bearish. We have here a supply zone. We're here, equal highs, and like what I said, that when there is an equal high, the price is getting liquidated first. The stop losses, short stop losses. Those who are placing their stop losses above the equal high will get liquidated first before price heads farther down. So look at that, it's a beautiful equal highs. and banks and institution knows that many orders are sitting above that. So what the smart money traders do, can fake this one, the shorting, I mean the down move, and then come back to stop out all the people placing their stop losses above that before heading back. And let's see what happens now. There you go. So as you can see, this move went higher than the equal high, and that is the liquidation. And you can actually see it much more clearer when you go for a lower time frame. Sorry, so like that, and much more if you go to 2 minutes. Let's see what will happen here. There you go. So see, this is actually a Wyckoff schematic. At 2 minutes, you have here this. Wyckoff. Okay, why Wyckoff? Okay, so we have here, everyone thought that this is already the low, but smart money traders wiped out those stop losses first before heading down. Okay, and it really doesn't matter what kind of or what candle shape there is, because this is even an engulfing candle, but after hitting those stop losses, it suddenly went down very fast. Alright, so that's it guys about the state of the markets for this week. For the Philippine market, it's still for me it's still bearish. After hitting those liquidities above, starts to decelerate or to descend. For the US stock market, we will see how the price in a weekly basis will close on a weekly basis. I already told you, if it goes here, it is bearish. If it goes above in this 34,067, that's bullish, especially if it goes above this, that's bullish. And you can also see it in the daily chart, but in the daily chart you see that there are supply zones over here. So this move might be just a temporary move to the upside to stop out all those shorting the market, liquidate before continuing the down move. Alright, so be mindful about it. Still be watchful. Don't be very bullish yet on this market, because even this formation is creating a high and higher lower high. So this looks a downtrend actually on the daily. So breakup structure, and then retest, and then continue the down move. Alright, so guys, for those of you who would like to learn smart money concepts and trading, this is a kind of trading that you don't need any kind of indicators, just really analyzing the price chart, the price actions, the liquidities, where are the liquidities are sitting down, because this is the way how the money makers, the big hedge funds and banks are trying to make money, to look for those liquidities, because there they are going to enter their trades to stop you out first, those retail traders, to stop them out, and they create an order opposite to the direction where the retail traders are trading. And you'll really appreciate, and you will really realize how it makes sense to trade this kind of technique, and it's much more, for me, easier and logical compared to those indicator based type of trading strategy. So for more information and inquiries about this mentorship that I'm doing one-on-one, can be in groups if you would like to, then feel free to write me in chat for more inquiries, and I will send you the more detailed info. Alright, thank you very much guys. Have a good Sunday to all of you. Till next time.